Hello, dear viewers. Support me by subscribing to my channel and share my video if you like it. And also, make sure you comment your thoughts. Now let's start the video.
Fame became a regular thing for him. 6 of his books became a bestseller, and 3 of them come up to the big screen. He's at the top of his career right now. His name always come up in the headline this past year. Today's the premiere of his new film. Dress up wearing his nice tux, the expensive watch, and leather shoes. Ready go to the premiere party at one of the actor palaces. Walking in the glowing room, greeting every producer, actor, and media who already in there. Drink champagne and talking to important people. James, my son. He looks around, old man with a nice suit, walk towards him. Embrace him and pats his shoulder. Well done, how can you be so damn genius at this young age? How old are you? 23, sir, and this movie is the success of the team and all the support from you, of course. He smiles with his perfect teeth. Calm and attractive, just like staring at the snowy winter, cold yet so eminent. He walks away and tries to find peace in the middle of the crowd. Too much champagne makes him dizzy. Stand at the balcony, light up his cigar to make his anxious heart to calm down. Cigarette makes his mind think of something. Why am I here? I don't even talk to anyone right now. 20 minutes and still thinks why he came to this party premiere. Nobody talks to him. He waits another minute, and still none of them. They enjoy their party with their friends and family. The sound of the music is so loud it can be heard from other blocks, but in James's mind right now it feels quiet. He can't even hear anything from the inside. Why everything's so boring and empty? He wants to go home already, but before it happens, his editor called his name. Jimmy, oh, I'm looking for you. I just came and this party sucks, so I thought you might be in here. He spoke while gasping for breath. Ed, I thought you wouldn't come, handed water to him. Thanks, I've finished my job and bored. Turn out this party sucks. James sigh and light up another cigarette. I almost go home if you didn't come feels strange. I feel bored, but not just that. I don't know what to say. Empty, maybe. Ed just silent. Tried to figure what happened to him. Everybody should be happy if their book gets adapted to big movies. He knows something wrong with James, but he didn't want to jump to a conclusion. Maybe you just tired. If you want to go home, just go. Oh, you can call Christy. You guys never hang out lately. She can cheer you up. Ed tried to cheer him. You're right, maybe I should go home and call her. Just before James goes home, his phone ringing. It says Christy with another 20 unread messages from her. Speak of the devil, she calls just in time. James smiles and walks to the corner. Pick up his beloved girl calls. Hello, babe, what happened? Quiet. There's no answer from her. What happened? Hello. He panicked, but then appears some little smooth voice from her. James, I don't know how to explain this. This relationship isn't gonna work. Please don't call me again. She hangs up, even didn't give James a chance to talk. Numb and blank, he didn't believe what he just heard. Ed, who stands next to him, just can guess what happened between them. The cigarette starts to shorten, almost get to his index finger. Suddenly, everything feels so cold for James. The only warm thing is the cigarette in his hand. He's shivering, try to rub his hands, still not warm enough. He turns around and stares at Ed, who tries to figure the situation. Ed grabs another champagne and handed it to James. He already knows what happened when looks at his eyes. His eyes show something different and bad. You okay? Ed wants to know sure what makes this man lose his charisma. Maybe I don't feel good today. Guess I'll go home and take some sleep. He walks away and put off his cigar. Ed holds his hand. You know you can tell me if something goes wrong, right? I'm fine, thank Ed. James smiles and walks away. His smiles seem fake. That what in Ed's mind when James walk away, James walking through the party's crowd, when everyone gets high and enjoys the music, it sounds so annoyed for him. Right now he just wants to go home and didn't think anything at all. Jimmy, where are you going? It's just 11 o'clock. The night is still a long man. Some guy approach him. He can't even see somebody's face right now. He just waves at him to sign that he has to go while putting on his fake smiles. Just one step and he can get out from this nonsense. But before he goes out, some girls came to surround him. They laugh and trying to seduce him. James just smiles and nodding to everything they said. Sorry, girls, I have a business to do. Again, James wants to avoid them and go home. Oh, come on, just forget about business one in a while, said one of them. James starts pissed and leaves them. Leave them with their head full of question, not a single word come out from his mouth. The nice and kind guy turns into a cold and intimidating at the same time. They could see it on his face that he had held something. What is this party? Why am I here? This question stuck in his head while he goes home. While he rides his BMW through the night city, the tears start to pour. Nothing feels more depressed than that night for him. Every lamp and road get blurry in his vision, the tears dripping from his eyes like a waterfall. That's what he tried to hold in the entire party. Open the window hoping the tears will stop, but every time he looks to the sideway, every girl, couple, every building in the city, he only sees Christy, at the same time with his memory of her, like a motion of memory. Blue sunshine feels so hot in his skin. James wakes up in the middle of the day, walks stagger to the bathroom. Through all the liquor he drank last night. Still in the tux, he went to the party last evening, wash his face, and realized that he drinks 2 bottles of wine to get over his ex. Everything was scattered on the floor. James sits on the couch and looks in the corner while his mind flies away reminiscing Christy, the woman who supports her for almost 2 years. His phone ringing so loud and break his daydream. He didn't pick it up and just look at it till it stopped, waiting until 5 minutes and look at the notification bar. There was Ed. He called and sent text almost 10 times. James was too deep in his dream. He looked at the phone, but his mind still a mess. There's a voice note from Ed. He played it with a loudspeaker and left it playing while he backed to his couch. Yo, James, I've finished my job today and there's a reporter who wants to interview you. I can't give them your address, but I give her your number. Get yourself out of your goddamn apartment and fresh up your mind. You act weird last night, called me if you need everything, okay? Catch you later. Silent, James think about it for a second. He just wants to lay down all day long. For 15 minutes he just looked at the ceiling. Is this over? Something so innocent, is this the end? His mind is in a total mess. He gets up and walking to the bathroom, tried to cool his head off with cold water. Water fell off from the shower simultaneously with tears fell from his eyes. Opened the fridge and get another beer, turn on the computer and checked his recent mail. So many emails came, but he didn't open them at all. James moves the cursor to the heart-shaped folder, opened up all the memories. Once again he hurt himself with the sweet memories, but it feels so bitter right now. With all the smiles and the laugh that they spent together was just an old story right now. Why she said that all of the sudden, he starts to gather all the courage and opened his last chat with Christy. James, I don't know what to say. I love you for sure, but I think we didn't belong to each other. Let us see our relationship this past year. We have our own business to do. We never hang out, talked, and it doesn't feel fun anymore. I'm happy at first. Every minute that I spent with you is precious, and there's no question about it. You didn't do anything wrong. I just think we can't be on the same train again. I hope this doesn't make you blame yourself. We should carry on our lives, and if you call me, I will help you whenever you need me as a friend. I love you from the bottom of my heart. James didn't want to cry again. He drinks his beer in one gulp. His finger wants to type in his little phone. Are we going to end just like this? But he changed his mind and get up, opened the door and try to get rid of all the communication and go to the balcony. Watching the beautiful sky so bright, but in the beauty of the blue skies, there a dark cloud came from the north. Make him remember all the good things in this world came along with all the bad things. Light up his cigarette and think about how to move on from his ex. Every time he tried to forget her, the more he remembers. Life is very paradoxical to think about. Every ironic thing happened in life. His last cigarette starts to move closer and closer to his finger. While watching the sky starts to turn orange and the bird starts back to their lair. James put off his cigar and grabbed his jacket and sweatpants. Grabbed his phone and keys and headed out to the convenience store. opened up the door, and he was shocked. A woman is waiting in front of the apartment door. He almost can't believe what he sees. Suited woman with an eye in her neck. Her perfume is so sweet, like maple syrup, very sweet, and makes James speechless. He watches her from bottom to top. "Excuse me, who are you?" James asked, if he looked for the wrong apartment. "Oh, sorry, I'm looking for Mr. James Nathaniel." She gives him her ID. "Mrs. Diana Christie?" "Yes, is something wrong?" James looked at her ID for a minute. What a coincidence. Christie, why so hard to get away from that name? He mumbling in his mind, and still have no idea why she came to his apartment. "I'm sorry, you didn't say anything for like 2 minutes. I'm the reporter from the Daily News." Finally, he remembers everything. "Ah, you are the reporter Ed talked about. How did you know my address?" "Mr. Edward sent me your number, but I called 30 minutes ago, and you didn't answer my call, so I asked him again, and here I am." She's so energetic, even this is out of her work times. James wants to let her came in, but when he looked back at his place, it more likes a bunch of crap there. So he brings her to the cafe in the next blocks. Walking with her make James forget about his ex. A little chit-chat in the road makes his smile starts to appear. After an hour spent time crying until makes his eyes dry, at least a little bit of relief and realize what's done is done. Suddenly, James thinks about his ex's last word. "We can't be on the same train." He looked at the skies and said to himself, "Yes, you're right. From the start, I never thought I said this before, but I don't want to love you anymore." Skies turning purple, James starts his late interview. In the corner of the cafe, Diana took out his equipment. They start the interview during the office break. There are a lot of staff and employees around, crowded, but that's the only place around there. James orders black coffee to fresh up his mind. After all day long, just drink wine and beer. Diana starts with the regular question. It's just as easy as the other interview he had. Nothing special. Everything just the same as another. After 30 minutes of recording, James starts looking around and watching all the people talking and laughing. He starts bored.
Is my question make you bored?
Diana put down his pen. No, I'm just a little tired." James leans back and sighs. "Oh, you must be tired after make the recent movie." No, it's just my another life's problem." She nods along. "So you have done all the great things at such a young age. Who has been supporting you all this time?" James stunned. He's having trouble with this question. After all the years, the only person who supported him, just his ex Christie. Now that they broke up, he can't answer this question anymore. "Should I mention her?" He's frowning. "No one," James answered quickly. "Hope the next question is the last one." "No one? Really? You've done all this great job without support from anyone?" "There must be someone," she wonders, and didn't believe what she heard. I don't know." He lights up his cigarette. "Yay, maybe there's someone." James waved and ordered the second cup of coffee, still hesitating to mention his ex. "You always called me young, but I believed we in the same age, right?" James tries to avoid her question. "Me? No. I'm 28, or maybe I looked so young so you can't guess my age." Ha ha ha. She laughed with her beautiful white teeth smiles just like a white pearl. James cannot believe that she's 5 years older than him. She doesn't look like 28, and his aura just clicked and connected with him. James has another question for her, so I'll ask you, who has supported you all this long to being a reporter? She's nodding. "That's a good question. Many people supported me, like my family and my friends. All the teacher and partner." "Oh, are you married?" "Ha ha ha, no. What I mean a partner is my work partner." Diana giggles and takes his last gulp of coffee. "Why aren't you married yet?" "At 28th, people, especially women, they want to find the love of their life," James asked curiously. "Maybe. I just didn't think that way. I still want to enjoy my work and everything in it." She smiles, just one smile that makes James feels even more curious. "With all due respect, what's fun from your job?" Diana hesitates to answer the question. She feels it more like her interview than him. She looking at her phone and pick up her pen. James understands her gesture, knows that she have to do her job, Let's call off the interview, James surprised Diana with his statement. I want to ask a little bit about you, Mrs. Diana, and you can interview me whenever you want in the return. Diana was dazed by the offering. She starts to think he's an interesting person. She takes her phone, turns it off the record, and take back his equipment. Waved the waitress to bring another coffee latte. Maybe that's for today. James smiles. So you can relax and answer my question. I can't say that my job is fun. I've been in this job for 4 years. I've learned a lot from my job. There are also bad and good memories. But if what you're trying to say is why am I still here, this job has something special. I love to write opinion, and I also write on my website. Here I can find a different perspective every day when I talk to the artist and actor or whoever that is. I've some believe that we can't see everything just from one side of the coin. That's the problem in this world. That is the reason violence exists. They just didn't want to understand each other. James paid full attention to what she said. He has seen the other side of her. Her skeptical, though, make James stunned. He's speechless. She blows his mind. Her cheerful character hides something deep and strong beneath it. I don't know you have that kind of thought. You seem like a normal cheerwoman. Diana laughing so hard, some people look at her because of her laugh. Ha ha ha, you judge people by their cover, eh? What you see right now is the result of many years of temptation. James frowning, he little bit understand what she means. Every pain we have in this life made me who we are. That's what on his mind right now. While he thinks, Diana stares at him and smiles. Smile with a million perspectives. Who knows why she laughs at the moment? You're such an interesting man. Are you already have some problem that out of your control? Her question wakes him up. Should I tell her? The question in his head now changes. He doesn't sure about telling his problem to other people. I don't know. Maybe yes, James answers it with panic-stricken. You didn't have to tell me, but you should share your burden. She smiles again. She's right. I should share my burden. I need her suggestion? Not because she's older than me. I should tell her my problem, right? James confuses about his problem, after almost 5 minutes without a single conversation. James gathers his courage to ask her about his conflict. Right before he wants to tell her, Diana's phone ringing, and that breaks the silence. She asked James to answer the phone. Yeah, failed. Maybe next time, or I can tell it to another person. I'm sorry, I've to go. My boss told me to go straight to the office. It's nice to see you. Here, this is my card. In case if you need me to an interview. She handed her card and leave, waved and winked from the outside. She smiles and then disappear in the dark of the night. Just a quick meet, make James feels alive. One more, before everything ruined from the inside. What should I do with this card? Call her? The waves feel more relaxing today. Everyone wants to be part of it. Swim in the middle of summer. There's nothing more delicious than coconut water today. James leans back under the tree, watching her running and playing with water. Dark hair against the white. He loves her chocolate-covered eyes. James, come here, this is fun. She's screaming at him and waves her hand. James walks toward her and lifts her, carry her back to the hotel room. After playing all day long at the beach, he just wants to spend his time with his lover. The nights come and they go out to enjoy the night, shopping, watching movies, and dinner with the beach view. The beauty of the moon reflected in the water of the sea, sparkling just like her smiles, the smiles that always stuck in his mind. Just add wine at the point, and it'll be perfect. James moves to her back, open the special gift for her. Glow just like her eyes that night, beautiful white pearl necklaces. Put it in her neck, lift her gorgeous dark hair, kissed her neck, and whispering softly, but sincerely, short but purposeful word. I love you, Christy. James wakes up, her sweat dripping from his body, his heartbeat moving so fast. What a strange dream. Tears come out from his eyes, subconsciously. What is this? Tears, fuck. Looked at the curtains, sunlight looks so bright behind it. What time is it? Open up his phone, it says 10 a.m., walking to the kitchen and pick up water. It makes him assured. Light up the cigarettes, suck it like he sucks the whole world. Open his laptop and checking to the bunch of emails stuck in there. He didn't know where to start. There's a lot of interviews. Diana's interview was still stuck in his head. Look in the corner of his desk. Diana card is still there. Should I call her? Or maybe she's on duty. He still doesn't dare to call her. Suddenly, his phone rang. Edin sent him a message. He rushes into the bathroom, left it ringing on his desk. He forgot that he has an appointment with him. They promised to talk about his next project. James was too focused on his personal life. After taking a shower, he opens the fridge immediately, hoping there is something to eat, even though it is just leftover bread. James drank his morning coffee and marched to Ed's places with his jeans and leather jacket. Drive his BMW full of speed. He knows Ed will be mad if he's late. 20 minutes he waited in his office, can't stop watching at his watch. Ed can't sit still, his heart beating unusually. He has a meeting with his boss in an hour. He's heard somebody running in the hallway. "You're late," that is Ed's first word when James opened the door. James can't argue. He looking at the ceiling, hope the answer is there. "Sorry, the traffic was so bad. I can't drive with that kind of traffic." It throws something at him. "Don't lie to me. I didn't have much time to clean up your mess. Just quick, you already have an idea for your next book, right?" James fell silent. He didn't think about it at all. He didn't plan it because he thinks it will be like another past year. The idea will come to his head. "I've something in my mind," he answers it with a voice full of doubt. Ed looked at him, frowning. He still didn't believe what he said, and after what happened at the premiere party, he thinks there's something wrong. Ed, with his firm stature, keeps some deep thought in his head. "I don't have much time. I'll attend a meeting after this. If you can write, that's good. I'll catch up later." He stands up and packs his bag, pat James's shoulder and walkouts. "But James, there's nothing change if you didn't change it. Maybe, and it's just hypothetically. When there's a moment you can't write an action story, you can also write another. Your love experience, maybe." "Write another story?" James thinks about it for a second. He didn't have a lot of love experienced in his life. In his mind, action and sci-fi story is the best. He always thinks that love story is dime and cheap. Ed leaves him thinking in his empty room. He knows James needs something to change. From now on, he can't be the same. James tried to think what story he should write. It's good to get over Christie. He looked at his watch and it says 1 p.m. It's still daylight. He didn't know where to go. He sits in his car and thinks, where is the best place to write in this hour? Today's typical day in the city, busy as well, drive around the city, and he still didn't know where's the perfect place to write. 30 minutes driving around the city, the dark cloud comes approach. James parks his car on the side of the road. He walks to the park. He likes the dark and cold ambience. Sit on the bench and start to open his laptop. Action, he writes it on his laptop. Erase it, and then he writes, fighting in the crowd. And again he erases it. Again and again he writes many words but still didn't have an idea. Everything just vanished. For the first time he feels something like this. Numb. He can't feel the imagination. He wonders of himself, lean to the bench, he hopes to find something. There must be something right. Come on, James thinks. He looked at everything at the park. Couple walking and holding hands, just like the romantic scene. He still didn't want to write some cheap story. Moved to the other side, he saw children playing with their parents. Still didn't have an image in his mind. Usually everything will come to his head just like a movie. Looked at the other side of the park. Nothing interesting, tree, bench, fountain, even the skies above it. Dark approaching. It'll be rain today. He almost moves to another place. He already put his laptop back in his bag. Before it happened, he sees a familiar face. Just a second, but it passed through him. There she is, Christie. The wind blows her dark, beautiful hair harder. James knows the hurricane come approach. Just for 1 second, everything just feels surreal. Looked her running to get a taxi, and James didn't do anything about it. Just watching her faces once again. Just her smiles one again. Everything feels like a fantasy for him. Christie just a few meters apart, but he just sits there, like she's in another dimension. He grabs his phone, ready to call her. This is very difficult for him. She threw every moment away just like that. Oh, she's still beautiful like usual. Should I call her? Or just yelled at her? Sometimes I just want to talk, but I can't get myself a call. While he struggles in his mind, Christy just leave. Every moment he spent on his head, that little moment just gone, without a single move. Rain starts falling, James back at his car. What I have done, while he pities himself, the heavier the rain got. After he can't write, and no, he can't find something happy. Just a moment, simple happiness. Looked at the window, the water dripping so fast, everything gets blurry. If I can just be in water, flow whenever it is, everything planned, I didn't have to think about what I should do tomorrow. He closes his eyes, and slowly he sleeps in the middle of the city. So soft and relaxing. There's nothing more comfortable than it was. Opened his eyes, James hears someone knocking at the outside. Still didn't know what happened. Suddenly it darks in the outside. He opens his windows. There's a police officer. With his tidy uniform, look at James, wonder. James also didn't know why police come at him. Sir, excuse me, I've looked at you for a couple of hours. Are you all right? The policeman looked at him worried. Of course. What I've done, officer. Is there something wrong? James still didn't know what's going on. The policeman sigh. It's almost 10:30 p.m. You didn't move at all. I didn't know if you're okay. James breathed. Oh, I was sleeping. I didn't know it takes that long. It's good you're all right. I thought you were dead for the first time, haha. He laughs and walks away. What a weird officer. He checked at his phone. Ed was called several times. James didn't realize it at all. Maybe it all because of the rain. He didn't dream, just sleep. Very pleasant. He called Ed's back in case if there's anything important. Hello, Ed. What's up? You call me right? Finally, James. I tried to reach you, Jesus. It seems panic. Is there something wrong? I've called from the producer. Do you want to write the script for this project? I'll explain the detail from the email. James keeps listening. This is a good contract, but I can't write right now. It's good for you that will. Ed waits. I've something to tell you. This is very important. Ed keeps silent. He knew it important, so he changes his voice. Turn into a serious tone. What is it? Meet me at the bar, the usual. James hangs up. He can't say something so important on the phone. He starts his engine car and goes straight to the place. At least he needs to make sure Ed understands his condition right now. James sits at the corner. He always likes in the corner of the room. It makes everything soundless. He can think, talk, and do everything he wants. He likes to watch everyone. Sometimes he just sits and looks at the other people's activity. That makes him able to have a good relationship with everyone. He makes his persona to survive in society. He waited for Ed comes, as usual. Ed's never late to meet someone, but if there's out of his work schedule, he became a different person. Light up the cigarette, drink a couple of beers. Watching everyone at the bar is fun for him. There's someone too drunk and do some stupid stuff. A couple and some fun gang try to enjoy their young blood. Just like another day here, he looked at the counter. There's a girl sitting all alone, like waiting for someone maybe. James's eyes just stopped at her. He never stopped at a specific moment before. Right now, everything is centered at her. She just sits there, with her dark, long hair. It's just like a beautiful paint. Sometimes James wants to throw something at her, just to make sure she's alive. She shows a mysterious aura. It's really strong. Everybody who sees her will do the same. If there's some drunker crash a bottle and make a noise, your eyes will not go away from her. James just looked at her so long, time's like getting slowed. He stares at her until finishes his third beer and his fifth cigarette. After several minutes, she moved her arms, called the bartender to get her another drink. James still looked at her intensely. Finally, she looked at him with a flat face. They looked at each other for a minute. She tries to figure James. Then she throws her cold, stunning smiles. Sorry I'm late. You know I didn't like to meet in the night. Ed comes and makes James distracted. That's okay. Here's a beer. James gives him his beer, but his eyes are still glued at her. She nods along and enjoys her drink again. Just like that, huh? She wants to go and talk to her, but first he needs to finish his business. He looked at Ed's faces. Here I have something to tell you about. James starts with something serious. He didn't want to waste a single minute. I can't write anymore. Ed, shocked, looked at James. Still didn't believe what he just heard. One of the youngest scriptwriters, the 6 times bestseller in the action category, he can't write anymore. That's like an arrow struck at his ears that night. There are alcohol and cigarette, but the tension is very strong. Ed still can't believe what he just heard. He feels like his brain stopped working at the moment. Ed drinks out his beer and sigh. He needs to assure himself to be calm. He closes his eyes and thinks, relax, it happened to all the writers. James just watches him mumbling. He feels useless and disappointed with himself. He looked at Ed's face. He can't trouble him more than this. I need to find the answer to myself. Huffed. I didn't know it will turn this way. Ed light up the cigarette. Try to not panic about the situation. Slowly, James. I know it happened with all of them. I know maybe I just needed more time, but I know it's different from the common case. I can't imagine things anymore, he said with a helpless tone. Ed leaned back and looked at the ceiling. So you can't imagine the adventure anymore? James nods. He shames about it. After all the years he made an amazing story and now ended up like this. Ed starts to understand the situation. He has some kind of idea. He didn't know this will fix the situation or make it worse. You didn't want to change at all? Ed said it out loud. What do you mean? Ed puts out the cigarette and breathes slow. I know what is your problem. You just didn't have momentum. You can't write something it isn't from your heart. What I'm saying is you need some improvement on your story. I know you're a sensitive person. Use your feelings. I do. But every time I want to feels the situation, it's just blank and gone. James, frowning, bite his lips angry. Maybe you never express yourself. It's time for you to pour yourself into your story. Try some different genre, maybe. I've been watching you since that night. I knew there's something that happened with Christie, right? You can write a love story. There isn't a class in the genre. Every story has its unique interest. I don't know if I can write some love story. It doesn't feel right. Ed takes another drink and packs up. Whatever, man. I'm just trying to help you. I just need your story next month. Maybe you could use some time to hang out and looking for the answer. You've another thing to tell me. Your problem. James shook his head. Okay then. I gotta go. Ed looking at James, he's still thinking about his next steps. He wears his jacket and left him alone. James put his hand together and hoping the answer came out to his head. He just refuses the good contract for his career. Try something new, hang out with some friends. James light up another cigarette, just the one who cheers him out right now, with everyone left him behind, like his ex and anyone include Diana, the journalist. He didn't know what to do. Liquor is the only way to get up. After 30 minutes of drinking alone, he starts to drunk and does some crazy stuff. Sobbing, he nearly crying when Christie's faces pop out in front of his eyes. Swimming in the ocean of his own eyes, pick up his phone and looking at the older photograph with his ex-sticks. Too desperate. He didn't know how to get out of this situation. He taps the name Christie and just texts her subconsciously. Hey, how are you doing? I'm in a hard situation. I wish I knew what's your thought if tell you my situation. Feels like an old day, huh? Send. He didn't think thoroughly. Throw his phone away and still didn't understand why he did that. Mind if I join you? Some voices called James. He looked at the voice with the eyes half sober. That's the girl at the counter. Why she's come here? James asked in his heart. Of course, do you have something to tell me? James confuses why all of a sudden she comes here. I've seen you drink all alone by yourself, and I just want to accompany you. She smiles. Beautiful smiles. In her smiles shows something mysterious. She's just like an ocean, very calm and graceful. James sees more in her smiles and her eyes that smiles. Make some comfortable situations. She drinks his glasses of wine and smiles again. Text your ex. What? How do you know? James stammered. Sometimes it just shows on your face. You're in a difficult situation, right? My name is Daniela. Nice to meet you. James, nice to meet you too. Still didn't know why you know that I text my ex? She pointed at James. You and all the people here, they all similar. I'm good at reading somebody's expression. I'm impressed, but why? Before James finishes his sentences, he sees people come from the front door and scream. They shouting Daniela's names and start investigating at anybody in the bar. Daniela, I know you're here. James knows something isn't right at here. He looked at Daniela's faces and he saw she's scared. They're looking at you. You want to help to get out. James said it with full of confidence. How? There are no back doors here. Just leave it to me. I know something. James looked at her eyes, and she knows that James will find the way out from here. James looked at his bag. They're just glasses and some paperwork. What should he do with that thing? He didn't want to get some unnecessary fight. He wants it to be smooth and clean. Again, some unexpected moment comes at his life. Maybe it'll help him out from his trouble. Pack his bag and ready to go. James light up another cigarette before goes home. He didn't sure this is going to work. He just can't leave this girl. They look to every side of the club. There's no way they can't trick them. Fortunately, he always imagines this kind of situation. James always watching and writing about action stories. He knows what to do in this case. Despite everything he knows is just fiction, and he never tried it. He tells Daniela to put on his sunglasses and bring his bag. What should I do with this bunch of paperwork? Come on, James, think. Use your head. James handed it to Daniela, and she brings it with her hands. Use it to cover your body at least. Hold it in front of your chest. Daniela looks scared. James has to convince her first. After she calms a little, they move forward slowly. Slowly, James has to act as nothing happened. Walking while keep smoking, it's helped him to relax a little bit. They passed the first two guys. Nothing happened this far, but three guys in the front of the door might be a problem. Where are you going? Said the big guy. James must stop to avoid noise. We're going to leave, sir. We have work to do. Wait, no one leaves until we checked everything, the other guy warned them. Sir, we need to go right away. We don't want any trouble, right? He tries to make them understand that they can't fight the club. The smaller guy whispers something to the big guy. James tried to guess what they're talking about. Meanwhile, he looked behind. Daniela feels scared there. Her face turns pale. One of them stood exactly next to her. Daniela just stood next to him, scared. James looked at her, and he realizes he should doing something. One of them moved close to her and looked at her face. They start suspicious about her.
Okay, you have to go, but just you. Is that woman with you?
The big guy pointed at Daniela. Yes, my assistant. She must bring my things to help me work, James careful to pick a word. The big guy let them past. Finally we can go from this place. They almost lose their heart. Suddenly, when they just one step closer, Daniela dropped the papers. Her hand shaking and she can't control it. The small guy looked at her from the bottom to the top. He realizes something weird about her. Her dress is too fancy to be an assistant. Wait, is she truly your assistant? The smaller guy stopped James. Oh shit, Daniela, it's just one step ahead. James clenched his fist. Get ready for the worst part. Daniela just stood still. Maybe she is too shocked. Of course she is. Take off her sunglasses first. What? Is he knows already? James panicked and tried to think the other way. Daniela starts moving and tried to reach a paper on the floor. She does it slowly like she can't see everything. That moment, James knows what should he do. I'm sorry, but she's blind. Look, she can't even reach the paper. James tried to convince him. The smaller guy frowned, still didn't believe what he said. Still, she looks too fancy in that dress. He told one other guy to take off Daniela's glasses. Before they did it, James has some amazing ideas. And you might be wonder why she wears the gorgeous dress. Yeah, she's blind, so I can, do something right. James smiles and hoped this will good enough to convince him. The small guy thinks about it for a second, then he nods. Yeah, Everyone has a different taste. He believed the bullshit that just made, with no plans and just improvising. He told the other guy to stop and he let them past. James helps Daniela to stand up and guide her outside, walk to the car, and they can lose their breath after hold it for a minute. James throws the cigar away and drives the car. That was close. So lucky. James looked at her and she still looked scared. Her lips still shaking and her face looks pale. After a mile and far enough from the club, James decided to pull over. James parked his car near the cafe, grabbed some donuts and coffee, handed them to her. James let her get hold of herself, while he waiting outside and smoking. For almost 30 minutes, finally, she walked out and sitting on the bonnet of the car next to James. Holding her cup of coffee, she looked a sad and little bit scared. James just waited until she talked. "Thank you for saving me," Daniela started talking after remained silent. "That's fine. I just do what my heart told me to do." James looked at her again. He believed she has something big in her mind. "What have you done to them? They didn't look like nice people." Daniela still didn't say a single word. She just holds the coffee and looked to the ground. She still confuses if James can be trusted. "That's fine if you didn't want to talk about it. Let's go inside and I'll drive you home." James finishes his coffee and drives her home. "So where did you live?" Daniela gives the address. The girl who looked so mysterious and attractive at first now turned into helpless and very fragile. She looked at the road and hoped that miracles will save her, hoping she still can sleep well tonight without thinking about what happened today. She only wants to go home and drown in the ocean of dreams. "I can't tell you yet about my problem. I don't think this the right time." Daniela finally broke the silence. James glanced at her. He tried to understand what she feels right now. She just like the dark of the night, you can't even see what on her face. Sometimes her smiles didn't feel happy or sad either, just her and with her mysterious smile. James can't even blink when he looks at her smiles, and left a million questions in his head. "I know exactly what that feels. You feel like there's nothing safe in this world. Even though you find good people, you still didn't believe them." James, smiling while said that, "No need to rush. Take your time." Daniela looked at him. She found someone different than others. For the first time, someone said it to her. "So you can understand it, huh? Hope you mean it." She smiles, but tears drop from her eyes. After a long ride, finally, they arrived in front of her apartment. "Thanks, I won't for a term." Before she finished her sentences, suddenly her phone ringing, she answered it and panicked. Daniela looked at James and holds his hand. "Please, for the last time, help me. I'll pay whatever it is. They are here. They know my address." James is startled and drags her to his car. Drive away from the place. He can't leave her in trouble. There isn't any other reason. It's just his hunch. Drive away from that apartment. James didn't think at that time. He followed his heart. It almost passed midnight, but the city's still alive. The crowd and traffic still exist because this is the weekend. They didn't talk to each other on the road. Daniela still silent. She feels bad about James. Drive her away from her trouble. James brings her into his apartment. He didn't know if this is a good or bad choice. James never brings any other woman to his apartment besides Christy. The messy room is full of bottled wine and cigarettes. It doesn't matter for Daniela. She just needs a place to hide. She doesn't care about the mess or smell. "Here, make yourself at home. I know it's a mess. I didn't have time to clean it." Daniela looks into every side of the room. They're just paper and a bunch of crap. Gosh, it's totally messed, but I don't have any other choices. She sits on the sofa near the kitchen. Finally, she can rest after an exhausting day. "Do you want something? I can make a coffee or a tea." James tried to comfort her. "Tea or just water will be fine." Look into the fridge. James has no idea if there any tea left. "Gosh, thanks, this is the last one." He makes it while looking at her. She still looks shocked, her hands shaking while opened her phone. Daniela tried to contact her friends and there are few people who reach her back. "Try to relax a little bit. They won't find you in this place." James gives her the drink. "Drink it. It'll make you warm." "Thanks. I didn't know how it can turn this way." She leaned back and closed her eyes. "Still don't want to talk about it, right?" Daniela fell silent. If you don't want to talk about it, call your friends, or I'll drive you to them. Daniela nodding. I'll take the shower. Where's the bathroom? Go ahead and turn right, James pointed the way. You didn't bring any clothes, right? I'll give you some. James goes to his closet. Didn't think he will do such a thing. Looking for the Christie clothes. There must be some left. Shit, I didn't know I'll find her clothes again. Although they're just her sweatshirts and a pair of shocks. James put the clothes near the bathroom. He cleans his mess and goes out to the balcony. Light up another cigarette like usual while questioning his act today. Why I help her this much? He remembers that he should keep thinking about the deadline project. He forgets about it at all. Too much thinking in his head makes James thump the wall with his hand. His phone suddenly vibrate. He looked at it, and there's a reply from Christie. James almost forgets about texting her. He drunk enough and make him forget everything. He was really scared to open the chat. James gathers his courage before opening it. There are a lot of messages from her. What happens, James? Are you all right? You didn't text me back almost 2 hours ago. You know I'll hear whenever you want to talk. It's been a while since you texted me after we broke up. Text me back, okay? Don't make me worried. We're friends, right? The last word still hit his heart. He didn't ready to build that kind of relationship. Everything from their memories is still left in his heart. He didn't move on, still. James thinks a second before text her back. He wants to talk for just a second, but James didn't ready for it. He knows that her heart not really in it. I'm fine, thanks for worrying me. I'm just tired, but now it's fine. James sigh, he wants to move on from her quickly, but it's harder than it looks. Daniela looked at him from the inside. Texting your ex, right? She took him by surprise. How do you know? It is pictured in your face. Daniela sits next to him. I believe this shirt is hers too. James was stunned. He still didn't know how she can guess everything right. She has sharp eyes. James knows it from the beginning, her sharp looking that can make everyone didn't have enough courage to talk with. James' eyes looking to the moon. Hey, did you make a friend with your ex? Why so sudden? I don't know, I just want to know from the other perspective. Daniela sighed. Nope, never. We don't have a good breakup. We always fight and argued all the time. I want to be happy at the moment, but he made me sad. Love is really hard games, right? James looked at her while she said all those things. Her beautiful hair swept with the wind. With the stars behind her, it looks like a beautiful picture in his eyes. Even that just one night. But the view is amazing, just one night. But he learned something about other people's hearts. By the way, what's your job? You looked made a lot of money from your job. Daniela asked him straight away. I do a lot of things. Writers, make a movie, and something like that. What about you? So you're a writer, that sounds fun. My job is modeling, one of the exciting jobs, right? Daniela laughing. But also very troublesome. James looked at her. He knows she didn't tell him everything yet. It must be something important, and James didn't rush into it. James sucked into her attractive world, makes him felt some feeling that he didn't feel after a long time. Just like Diana, she can attract him at first sight. Finally, this day I'm not crying. She helped me forget about my pain. What an attractive woman. I just meet her today, but we ended up like this. Life's amusing. Despite I know she keeps a big secret from me. I don't know if her secrets will bring big trouble for me. At least I will follow the flow. James, thank you. Maybe you're one of few people who want to save me. She puts his arm together on her feet and smiling, with the sky full of stars behind her. If times could stop just to keep seeing this view forever, that's the beauty of the nights. Again, she brings out this beautiful angle. She, like a goddess with her smiles, felt mysterious to him. She's a myth, but James was lucky enough to see her with his eyes. James didn't know how life gonna be tomorrow. It feels there's always something new every time with her, either it pain or happiness. He didn't know what's gonna be next. They sleep well that night. When the sun's up, none of them getting up, they were through some hard and scariest night. Especially for Daniela, she has been marked by some people. She doesn't dare to walk around with some eccentric or even fancy dress. Luckily, she meets the right person at the right times. It's 8 a.m. Sunshine touched their skin through the curtain. Nobody sleeps in the bedroom. They slept on the couch in front of the kitchen. They were talking till morning and fall asleep in the middle of the conversation. Knock, knock! Daniela gets up right away after hearing that sound. She looked at the door for 1 sec to make sure it was a real sound, and she isn't dreaming. She looked at James. He's still sleeping on the couch. Maybe it was just my imagination. Right before she wants to get back to her dreams, knock, knock, knock. It repeats several times. Daniela has to walk towards the door. She stood in front of the door and didn't open it. She's still afraid maybe there are people from the last night. She wants to wake James up, but I have to do it myself. This is my problem, and I can't always depend on him. She takes a deep breath and counts into 3 before opening the door. 1, 2, 3. Open up, and a woman is standing in front of the door. Her dark hair with the white top. They looked at each other. They look wondered as well. Nobody knows what's happening right now. Who are you? Daniela starts the conversation. Oh, my name is Christy. I want to meet James, but maybe I came at the wrong time. She looked at Daniela, who just wears her old sweatshirts and a pair of shocks without pants. Christy feels so awkward to meet face to face with some unknown girl wearing her oldies clothes. You know what? I'll come back later. Nice to meet you, by the way. Christy smiles at Daniela and leaves her standing in front of the apartment door. Christy felt embarrassed at the moment. What was that? Sure, he already has a new girl. He's famous and handsome, of course. Every woman would be chasing him. Idiots. It was me who told him to not call me again. In the end, I shouldn't worried about him. Daniela was stunned. She didn't understand what was going on. She came and then just left without a reason. She thought about that for a minute. She looked down and realizes she didn't wear any pants and just underwear. Maybe because of this. She must have got this on a wrong way. She walks inside and opened up the fridge. There's nothing left in it, just some milk and bread. I thought he's rich. Nothing much she can do with those things. She woke James up and told him there's nothing left on the fridge. Just go to the convenience store, he talked with half sleeping. I can't go out like this. I didn't bring any pants. Just get up, it's almost 9 in the morning, she yelled at James and rolled him out from the couch. Ouch, all right, I'll go, just ask me nicely. James sits and walking to the bathroom, washed his face with the cold water to fresh up his eyes. He grabbed his hoodie and walked to the convenience store. It was just a couple of blocks, but it feels so far for him. He never gets up and hit the road right away. James forgot that there was Daniela, and he didn't restock his fridge. He doesn't sure what should he pick for the breakfast. He bought some cigarettes as always, noodles, meat, some bundles of dried herbs and eggs. He looked at some beers and think it might be good to buy some beer. Before he wants to reach it, his hands touched other people's hands too. Oh, I'm sorry, James surprised when looked at it. Christy, why are you here? James, yeah, that's a long story. She's surprised just like him. Can we talk for a minute? There's something I want to talk about. He looked at her eyes. Christy nodding, but not here. Let's head to the usual place. They head to the cafe next to the store. It's the only cafe around there. James spent most of his time writing at this place. This is the place when they hang out and didn't know where to go. They sat in the corner of the place, ordered black coffee and some cappuccino. It feels awkward for both of them. They didn't meet each other since they broke up. James glanced at her, looked at her dark, beautiful hair. Her smell of perfume reminds him of how fragrant her body was. Just one moment, but James can see the memories within her. So, how are you? Christy breaks the tension. Good, just like you, I guess. Pretty much. Silent. Again, they didn't know what to say to each other, especially Christy, after she met Daniela at James's apartment. Christy, the reason why I dragged you here is I want to ask you some questions. James comes first. Maybe it's too late, but I want to ask you the reason. Face to face, not from the phone. She took a deep breath. How long we've been together? 1 year, maybe more? These last couple of months, we've never met each other. I'm busy with my job, and so do you. I didn't know it will end. This about my feeling, James. I can't force my heart to love you anymore. I don't have that feeling anymore. It changes. People change. James. But we can work it out, right? I'll spend more time with you if I should. There must be another way, right? James, you want in a relationship like that? It will be a shame if I lie about my feelings. When you love me with all of your heart, but I didn't do it the same way. Please, if you love me, just let me go, okay? James nodding with a sad face. He wants to cry again. He holds his tears with all of his power. I still care about you. I know I told you to stay away from me and didn't call me again. But I can't stop worried about you. Can we do this? I know it'll take time for you. I'll try, he answered it shortly. Come on, cheer up. You already have a new one, right? Christy didn't want to make him sad again. Oh, don't tell me you meet Daniela. Ah, she's Daniela. Why, she wears my clothes. You guys have done it. No, we didn't do it. That's a long story, and she didn't have a place to sleep, so I lent her your clothes. Don't think something wrong. Christy is the one who can make James smiles and cry at the same time. She doesn't want James to hate her. She wants to make a good relation with him. Deep down inside, Christy still wants to make sure he's okay. After he sent those messages, she wanted to support him from a distance. They talked for an hour and walk home separately. James lights up his cigarette while walking home. Think about what she said. He knows she wants to cheer him. Still, something he didn't understand, why feelings can change so easily. From that moment, he won't trust everyone's feelings anymore. In the end, it'll through some changes. Walk home with uncertain feelings. He isn't sad and happy either. Something had gone, but he didn't know what it is. After that moment, James won't trust feelings anymore. He confuses them after anything he had done for their relationship. It just ended like this. Open his apartment, he forgot Daniela waited there. It's almost a couple of hours since he went to the convenience store. Daniela waiting on the couch, half asleep. James feels bad about her and cooks breakfast for her. Wake up, the breakfast ready? He shook her body. Shit? How long did you go? He put the dish on the table. I don't know, maybe a couple of hours. I talked with someone first. Daniela yawned. You know what, before you get up, a woman is looking for you. Maybe she's getting us wrong and just left. Yeah, I was talking to her. We met at the convenience store, James answered. Is that your ex? James quiet for a moment. Yes, she is. Suddenly the room turns very quiet and nobody talked. They finished the meal without any conversation. James tried to not look sad in front of her, but she knows it. Daniela spent most of her time to watch and learn somebody's expression. No mask that she can't penetrate. She always looked at them and figured out what's the meaning behind them. After they finish their meal, James goes straight to the bathroom and changes his apparel. So where did you want to be this night? James asked. Maybe I'll go to one of my friend's houses. Okay, I'll drive you after this. She's nodded and then hit the shower. James wants to be alone again after he met Christy. He's opened one can of beer sitting outside the room and smoking as usual. Why I do all of this? I have a lot to do and some deadlines that I have to pursue. Everything that I do lately just based on the impulsive way. I rarely use my intelligence this past few months. James took her to her friend's place. It's outside the city and it takes 1.5 hours. They aren't talks much in the car. James stuck in his mind while Daniela busy answering the call from her job. So this is the place? They arrived at Daniela's friend at suburbs area. There are few people who live there. It's a pretty quiet place. It suits her to find peace. James looked around and it's such a big place with a yard and garden in front of it. Daniela, honey, it's been a while since you came here. A woman came from the inside. Daniela embraced her. I know I'm sorry if this is so sudden. That's fine, don't treat me as a stranger. So who is this guy? Your new boyfriend? She looked at James. No, we're just friends. James Nathaniel, nice to meet you. She smiled. Emilia Smith, a close friend of your friend. They greet each other and go inside her big place. They talked in her living room. Get along, she's a married woman and a friend of Daniela. Emilia is a model like Daniela, but she's retired because she is married and wants to enjoy a peaceful life. Daniela looks so happy at this place. James knows it. Her mysterious and cold personality has gone. When she talked and laughed with Amelia, everything feels different. James almost couldn't recognize her anymore. She's not the same person when he helped her out from the bar. Still, Daniela is a professional model. She's always get called by her agent and client. She goes upstairs to change and left James and Amelia alone in the big living room. "So, how long you guys know each other?" Amelia opened. "We've met 2 days ago. I helped her out from some guys." Amelia sighed. Again, she's always getting into trouble. "What do you mean again?" James is curious. "I didn't know if I allowed to saying this, but she's like to getting to some serious problems." James listened very carefully. His body sits straight and getting into a serious position. "Daniela's just like my sister that I never had. She's my junior at the modeling world. I know her for almost 3 years. She loves to be at the center of attention. First, I think she's just some random girl that just known the modeling world. But when the job is done, she just sitting by herself, walking home and eat by herself. She didn't hang out with the other girls and sits alone in the restaurant just watching people walking and talking." Now James understands why she's sitting all alone at the bar. Her story makes sense for James because he looked with his own eyes. "One moment I asked her to have a meal with me. She smiled and then turned into a noisy girl when she's around me. Then, at that moment, we became close friends. Her family didn't give some attention to her. That's the fact that makes me feel bad for her. That's the reason for every problem she's had. She just wanted to be loved." James put his hand together while thinking, so why she's being wanted to some people? They didn't seem like a good person. "I can't tell you about it. It's her problem. She hasn't told me about her new problem either. But there's something I can tell you. She loves to get attention because of her family who didn't presume her as their daughter. Everything you see from her, it's just a lie. She's good at lying." James speechless after hearing that story. He didn't know Daniela has terrible problems from her past. "I can feel something different when I first meet her, and when I bring her to my apartment. She's a different person," James replied. Amelia laughing, "Haha, you care about her. She didn't have a lot of friends. Maybe it's just you after years who said things like that about her. Can you watch her if she's in the city?" "I'll try." Daniela came back after doing some serious business with her client. James can't look at her the same from now on. She's being cheerful in Amelia's place because this is the only place that makes her happy. After seeing she's acting differently when they first meet, he knows that she just pretend to be happy all this time. Who knows how long she holds it, her real personality. It's really hard to pretend to be happy for her or us as well. James went home in his car. Stare at the skies on the way back home. He keeps thinking about the stories that Amelia told. Now he knows that not every feeling and expression is telling the truth. They're lying in their way. This is the first time for James to understand the feelings, not just his feelings, but other people too. No one can guess the meaning of a smile. All these times, he never thought about something like this. Why everything feels so complicated right now. James got home, now his apartment back to how it should be. Quiet and messy, just like usual. James takes off his jacket and takes a beer from the fridge, sits near the kitchen and opens his laptop. Trying to write something, he hasn't written anything for a while. Still, there's nothing images or pictures in his mind. Usually there's some images, it appears just like a movie in his head. There's so many action story that he had writes, now everything's gone. James didn't have a single clue where they are. His magical and brilliant ideas had flies leaving his head. Stared at the ceiling, hoping the answer is still there. He remembered what Ed said. Why you didn't write another story? He thought about it for a second, nothing left in his mind. James's look at the blank screen, keep digging in his mind. Just one word that appears, that word represents his feelings right now, hollow.
Almost 30 minutes he sits and trying to write another story.
At least he tried to write what he feels right now. He feels empty, he didn't sad, nor happy. He don't trust everybody anymore, especially of their appearance. He won't trust feelings anymore. Why I have to understand everybody's feelings when it can change every time. He left his laptop open and lay down on his couch, take a deep breath while keep thinking about his future career. Nothing in his mind. Everything feels so cold right now. He wants to smile, but there's nothing happy or funny around. He wants to cry, but his tears feel like stopped and refuses to go out. James's get another beer right now. He brings more than 5 cans of beer. Drink all of it, just to make sure he can get drunk and get out from this world just a second. He wants to figure it out with intoxication. He feels pain, but he doesn't bleed. His heart feels ache, like there's 1,000 needle pierced his heart. Just a half hour he got drunk, and finally his tears can come out and his smiles can appear. Such a hopeless man. James doesn't even know what he's feeling right now. He just got drunk and goes crazy in his apartment. The pain that he felt is gone. He feels good for a moment. He does not feel right now. He looked at the table. There's a card. Diana's card. He called her and tells to have an interview right now in his apartment. He goes wild and almost can't control it. Diana comes to James's apartment. She wondered why James wants to have an interview. They were done it a couple of days ago. She knocks on the door and there's no answer. Knock it again and still the same. Has he tricked me? He wants me to go to his place, but there's no answer. Diana gets more confused. She knows that James is an interesting person, but she doesn't know that he's nosy. Diana gets more impatient. She's tried to open the door. There's no answer, but the door is unlocked. "Hello, is anybody here?" she shouted out. The whole place is dark and quiet. It's around 4 p.m. and the lamp isn't turned on yet. She sees a silhouette on the couch. "James, is that you?" She keeps yelling his name. Diana looked around and tried to get the switch. She can smell alcohol right here. She found the switch behind the door, trying to light it, and then everything clear. James lay down on the couch with his head in the bottom. He's drunk at this moment. Diana knows it and tried to reach him, shake his body, but there's no answer. He's very drunk. She doesn't know what to do. She brought James's body to the bathroom and put his head in front of the toilet, grab a shower and spray it on him. After minutes, James throws up and he's sober. James shook his head and feels a little bit dizzy. He didn't know what happened and why he got up in the bathroom. "Better?" James heard some voice and it sounds familiar. Turn around and Diana there's holding her shower ready to spray it. "Why are you here? Why am I here? And what happened here?" James asked her. "Can you at least say thank you?" Diana sighed with relief. "You called me here, and when I arrived you were drunk and I didn't know what to do, so I just give you some water from here." James' shock. He didn't remember all of those. "What? Am I called you? Why?" "I didn't know either. You said you want some interviews, but you didn't say it well on the phone." Diana looked at him. James is still confused, and she knows it. "Go take a shower, I'll wait, and then you can tell me what happened." James took a shower and clean up his body. Diana waits and looks around in the apartment, just like as she expected. The boy's apartment always messy. She looked at the laptop near the kitchen, and it just one word on the whole page. Hollow. She's wonder what's that mean. "So you drunk and didn't know what happened next?" Diana tried to understand the situation. "I just want to get drunk and forget every problem around here. You know that's not the best way to do it, right? It's bad for your body and makes you forget your obligation. You're in the middle of something, right?" James looked at her, frowning. "How do you know?" "I saw your laptop and you make a new story, right? Hollow? Is that the title?" James doesn't know how to answer that question. He doesn't sure if this is a story or anything. It's his expression of what he feels right now. If he answered her question, he'll drop his reputation. Now he doesn't know the right move. He doesn't know how to answer, with his heart or with his pride. Diana keeps asking James those questions. She went on and on. James remained silent and didn't know how to answer those questions. He didn't write a new story or anything. He can't tell her that he can't write anymore. Everything gets blurry when he tried to write. "So what's the meaning of hollow? What kind of action that you'll have this time?" She keeps asking while James didn't say any words. Must be something that more exciting than before, right? So you'll write again today? Should I put this on the news? Diana picks up her phone and tries to record the conversation to put on the news. Stop it, James yelled at her. Did you think this some kind of interview? What? You called me here to interview you? She said it angrily. I told you that I was drunk. What can I do with it? Diana frowning, I can't believe that I pick up your phone. I should leave you laying on that couch. She put back her phone and ready to leave. James just sits down and watch her pack up. He didn't sure about what she said. There's something on his mind, something stressful, like wants to explode. A lot of thought in his mind, just like a deadline, her girlfriend and everything. It's torturing him. Diana put on his jacket and looked to James. Hope you'll finish your project. I'll never call you interviewing you again. You'll never know how hard it is to be in my position, waking up and being asked something that I didn't want to hear. James said it straight. What? You didn't know how long I'd take to get here and just helping some stupid drunker writer. I helped you and you didn't even give a little thank you. Diana yelling at him. Did you know how exhausting it to be in my job? I can't even drink as you do. I have a lot of trouble and you just being silly here. James thumps his hand in the wall. He knew that she's tired, but right now in his head just anger and his loneliness. Diana walks out of the room. I'll have a lot of trouble too, James said, it just before she closes the door. Something filled my head and it feels horrible. Diana stunned for a second, trying to hear what he wants to say. Open the door again, and standing in front of the door, James lifts his head and picks up some cigarette before he talks. This is the difficult times in my life. I've got a lot of feelings that I never knew before. It filled my head and dragged me crazy if thinks about it. James takes a deep breath. Diana, did you know what the meaning of Hallown? She has no idea why he writes that the title for your story, right? Nope, it's just what I feel right now. That's not a story or anything. I wrote that because I can't write anymore. Diana's speechless. She can't believe what she just heard. One of the most successful writers that can't write again, but the most unbelieved story that she heard. You're kidding, right? Diana still didn't believe it. I'm serious. It's maybe sounds so stupid, but it's true. James stands and looks out the window. How does this happen? I don't know. It just happened after my last project. Suddenly everything gets blurry when I want to write something. I can't even write an action scene anymore. Here it is, getting drunk all day long to avoid my depression. Diana comes closer and sits near him. Maybe you're just tired or something. Did you have some incident or anything that can affect your emotion? James thinks about it for a second. I'm not tired at all, and I never put my emotion when I write my stories. They keep silent for a minute. Diana feels bad because screaming at him. She didn't know that James threw something difficult. She knows what happened if writers cannot write anymore. I'm sorry then. I didn't know that you threw these serious problems. Diana feels that she should apologize. It's fine. I know why you mad at me. Sorry for disturbing you in your work. Day's getting darker and they still didn't know what to do. Those are very awkward moments after an argument with each other. Diana just sits down and James just smoking while looking outside. He already feels hungry after drinking and smoking that much. He thinks it's maybe a good idea to bring her to dinner. He can't just leave her after being in this awkward moment. James told some of his thought to everyone for the first time after a while, and he did it subconsciously. Are you in a break right now? James asked. Kind of. This is weekend and I didn't have to back to the office unless there's some urgent. Nice. Let's go have dinner with me. I'm hungry. Diana, shocked. What? Is this necessary? Of course, this is how I express my gratitude. Just wait, I'll dress up. Wait a minute. I don't wear proper clothes. Diana tried to refuse. That's fine. I don't want to bring it to some fancy place as well. James goes to his bed and changes into some nice clothes. He just wears some casual clothes. Grab his car keys, phone, and good to go. Diana refuses to go at first. She feels shame to go to dinner with some guy with an office dress. James just drags her to his car and bring her to a restaurant. Not a fancy place, but still it for classy people. Diana feels embarrassed when they walked into a room. Some people dress nicely, and she feels didn't wear a nice suit. What happened? James asked because knows something wrong. Nothing. I just feel uncomfortable with this outfit. James looked at her. I think you look nice. You're beautiful, just like usual. She's blushing and became more awkward. James don't have any specific intention when he said it. He just said what he saw. Now, I want to hear something about you, James asked. I didn't have something special. I'm just an ordinary reporter or journalist. She smiles. Really? There must be something right, James asked. Diana tells him about her life and something funny when she was kids. They talking and laughing for a while. They became closer than before. Every time James with her, he feels something different in his heart. He became more open and forgetting his sadness. Everything he did it subconsciously. He didn't realize his feelings. Today, just like the other days. Wake up at 6 in the morning. Open the window and the curtain to gain fresh air. Make a cup of coffee and toast some bread. Go to the bathroom and wash her face to make her eyes entirely open. She always watched the television while enjoying her breakfast. She loved to watch the news, from celeb news until political news. Before she goes to her office, she always checked her work desk and make sure everything's fine. Tidy up all the paperwork and notes before went to the office. She walked to the bus stop because she doesn't have a car or another transportation unit. Put an earphone in her ears while walked and wait for the bus. Listen to some podcast or any other news that happened that day. Sometimes she read the news on her phone or books. She loves some new insight into her life. She's worked almost all day long in her busy and super noisy office. There's a lot of phone ringing, people arguing, and many of them trying to develop a new kind of news and rumor. Look for everything that happened that day. That's the routine that she loved. She has been doing this for many years. Pour all the spirit and her dedication to the work. She doesn't have concern for herself in past few years. Never go to date or find somebody to make her happy because she's pretty happy with her condition right now. Diana, come here for a second. Somebody called her. She goes immediately. What happened? Any good pieces of information? Yes, I want you to cover the news. He's a politician, and you can do the exclusive interview if you want. Good, send me the address. Diana smiles and packs up her equipment. She usually goes with her team for some exclusive interview on the television. In some case, she just alone and write for her website. She likes to write something dangerous and honest on her platform. Diana worked until late at night on the weekdays. She can interview a lot of people in one day. She never complains about it. She has a strong personality. Her eyes and her ways to think represent all of it. Finally, it's over, Mia yawned. So, Diana, after all of this, you still write on your website? Yes, just to pass the time. Wow, you such a maniac. Are you get your nights of sleep well? Diana packs up her things. Maybe at least I never stayed late at night. Hoofd, if it's me, I would go straight to bed. I mean, you have enough money, don't you? You're right, but that's not for the money. There's some unique satisfaction when you did it. Diana smiles and wears his coat. Let's go home. You don't want to work overtime, right? I've got an idea. Let's stop for some drinks. You need to relax sometimes, or your face will look old. Mia pocked her while joking. What? That's so not true, but fine, I'll go with you. They walked down through the half-empty building. Everybody already went home. Diana and her friends, some of the overworked people in the office. Diana, you didn't go home yet. Some guy called her from behind. Oh, Lucas, we already want to go home. Diana turns back. It's already night. You want me to drive you home? Diana smiles a little. That's fine. I can go by myself. Oh, come, just one time. You always reject me when I offer you a ride. He got closer and want to grab her hands. I can't because... She is confused about how to avoid him. Try to think the way... Because Mia asked me to go drink with her. She has a lot of problems and she wants to ask my advice. Wait, I didn't have a prob. Just shush for 1 sec. She prevents Mia to talk. Maybe next time. Thank you for your kindness. Wait, Diana, are you sure want to reject me like this? Lucas yelled at her and swearing out loud. She waves at him and leaves him. Diana doesn't want to go with some guy that she doesn't like. She knows Lucas for a long time. They got in work together in the first place. She knew him long enough. So why you reject him? Mia asked when they already sat in the bar. Ordered some beer to relieve the stress. I don't know, I just don't feel comfortable near him. You know he likes you, right? Diana sighed. Maybe, but I know him since I first worked here. Still, I don't want to go in a relationship or something. I know, but now he's our boss, and I think at your age, you're hard to find someone. They're silent for a minute. Now tell me what you don't like about him. He's handsome, rich, and nice to you. He never commits anyone like that before, I think. Mia makes her think. She knows Lucas is perfect, but there's something and she doesn't know what. Ugh, I don't know, with someone right now. I want to accomplish my goals first. Diana takes another liquor and don't talk to anyone about Lucas. He always asks me to go out and that makes me feel uncomfortable. Diana still doesn't know why she hasn't been attracted to someone at her age. Normally people will be married or at least have a relationship with someone. You do not look love from the right side, I think, Mia said straight away. You're right, or I don't look love from another side either. I'm just focused on my job, family, and anything. No guy shows some attractive side that makes me interest. You're freak. They laugh and drink until late at night. They take a taxi home half sober. Diana never stopped thinking about what Mia just said. What is love and why I never felt it? Is that make you happy? I think love is not the main goal that people have to get. Love is just a choice, and I can choose who I loved because I have control over myself. That's a matter of choice, and a big question for Diana, who didn't know how it feels to love someone. Fresh air comes from the window. Diana never closes her apartment window. When the morning comes, she'll wake up right away. She doesn't need an alarm on the phone. She'll open the fridge to make breakfast, make a coffee, and go to the bathroom to clean her body. It's 7 a.m. and she's sitting in the living room, turn on the television to see the newest information. Usually she wakes up an hour early than today. Because of drinking with Mia last night, she didn't wake up properly. This is the weekend and Diana just writing on her website, leave the television turn on and just looking for brand new information. Just like usual. And nothing is exciting. Happened this week. Successful young writer, that title coming up from the screen. She didn't have a huge interest in him at first. Suddenly her phone ringing and Mia called her. Diana, you know about this writer? He's viral on the media recently. His new action movie became one of the popular movies right now. I know. So what happened? Her eyes were still glued to the television. Our boss wants you to interview him next week. I'll give you his editor number. Editor, she's confused. Oh yeah, we can't have his number or anything. He didn't have a manager either. So this the only way you should call his editor about this problem. Bye. See you on Monday. Mia hung up before Diana wants to say anything about it. She just still didn't sure about him. Nothing interesting from this person. Diana back to her activity, writing her perspective and her thought about what happened in the world. Diana, you always busy like usual? Some familiar voice called her from the door. It was his sister. She's a college girl and usually came to Diana's apartment to talk or just hang out with her. Such a happy family. Geez, Alice, you almost give me a heart attack. I told you to knock before come in. Alice smiling and hug her. I do, but you didn't hear it. So are you writing for your website again? What do you think that I'm doing right now? She grumbled. You came here alone? Yes, I want to go with Mum, but she still has a business. Alice keeps talking while Diana's still writing on her website. When the day's getting darker, Diana stopped her activity for a while, cook something for her sister and chill while watching their favorite movies. So Diana, how's your relationship going with Lucas? Diana choked. What do you mean? There's nothing such a relationship with him. Huh? Are you serious? Alice doubted her. He's a nice guy, right? He always kind to me and sometimes treat me for a meal. He keeps talking about you, though. That's none of your business. You should get a boyfriend. You're almost 28, you know. Mum wants you to find someone too. Diana thinks about it for a minute. So what? I don't want a boyfriend. Not yet. You're still a college girl, so don't try to lecture me. They continued the night by watching movies. Diana keeps thinking about what her sister said. It's a matter to have someone at this age. I didn't feel to date someone right now. Should I do it for them? I don't want my mum to be worried about me. She keeps thinking about it even when she sleeps. It's some kind of obligation to love someone. Days go on like usual, and Diana did her activity. Go to the office, have some meetings, and some other jobs that she should have done. Today, she will meet this famous writer. She still can't believe that she must call his editor first. Good afternoon, my name is Diana Christie. I want to have an appointment with Mr. James Nathaniel. Oh, so you're the one who wants to interview him. My name's Edward, his editor. Ed's voices come from the phone. Maybe you confused why you should call me first and not directly to James Wright. Haha, you've read my mind. Ed sigh. This not the first time he has some issue right now. Even me, I can't call him directly too. He a little bit antisocial? Maybe that's the word to describe him. Deep down inside, he doesn't like a crowd. So that's the reason. So when I can meet him, I've called him recently, but he didn't answer it. Here I give you his address. You can meet him at his place and just tell him that I sent you. Sorry for this trouble. Diana thanked. That's fine. You care so much about him. Is that so? Yeah, maybe this is what I can do for him. His voice tone changes and it feels different from before. Diana closes the phone and ready to meet this person. She packed her equipment and ready to go. She goes alone because everyone's busy with their jobs. She walking to the bus stop and go to James's place. She curious how's he likes. He is known as a genius young people. Deep down inside, she's can't imagine how James looks like. She arrived at his place for almost 30 minutes on a bus. She knocked on the door, but there's no one came. Diana thinks maybe she's got the wrong number apartment. She knocked again, but still there's no answer from him. She stands for a while waiting for a response. While days getting darker and she didn't know what to do. Before she wants to leave and call her friend, the apartment door opened. She's really surprised that he's not like what in her head. Just like normal young people. There's no genius in his face. She's a little bit disappointed. He makes her waiting as well. She introduced herself and James brought her to a cafe nearby. Very different from her expectation. With a hoodie and a sweatpants, she still didn't believe what she just saw. In the first place, she wanted to know what makes him so special and viral in the media. She wanted to know what's the special about this kid. Diana goes back to the office with a casual interview. She didn't get anything good for the job, although that is the first time in her career that she'd been the guest. Nobody asks her a question like that for so long. There's been so long since she's passionate like this. What's fun from my job, huh? Everyone always told me to not overwork, but I never listened to them. I don't know why this is so exciting. Diana talked in her thought while walking back to her office. But few people left. Walked to the 15 floors and looking for Mia. Diana can't find them anywhere. She feels mad about it. Mia, the one who told her to interview James, but she goes home early. Mia, where are you right now? Diana called her through the phone. Oh, Diana, I'm sorry I have some other business right now, she whispered. You told me to interview people, but you have gone just like that. Oh, please don't mad at me. I have a date right now, just once, okay? Forgive me. Diana takes a deep breath. Why, you're not acting like a professional. Are you sure that personal life is more important than a job? Diana, I know this is a job, but right now the work is over. Looked at the time right now, you always overwork like this, right? I understand, but don't force me to be like you too. You don't have a boyfriend, right? So you didn't know how precious times to spend with your boyfriend be like. Diana can't argue with it. It's almost midnight, and she can't force Mia to back to the office. She really can't handle her workaholic habit. Okay, fine. See you tomorrow. She hung up the phone. Mia slapped her in the face. Is she too passionate about her job? Is this a fun job? Damn, that kid made me think like this. She didn't sure if it just her that loved this job. Everyone seems didn't feel like her, they just do it because there's money on it. The wind gets stronger, and Diana walks out of the building. There are few people, but nobody goes home except her. There's no taxi in the street. She can't go home right now. Diana? Some familiar voices called her. What are you doing here? You didn't go home yet? Oh, Lucas. I was doing some interview with someone. Diana smiled faintly. It's too late for you. I'll drive you home. Diana thinks about his offer. It's maybe awkward because yesterday she rejects him. Diana understands what's on her mind. He's not a bad guy, but he's always chasing her. Lucas has some personal feelings for Diana and she knows it. Ha ha ha, I don't know. I'll wait for the taxi or maybe stay at the office. I can't trouble you. Lucas smirked. There's no taxi around. Looked at the time and the office is filled with other people. Come on, let me drive you home. He grabbed Diana's hands and take her to his car. Diana can't refuse anymore. Nothing she can do about it. She'll go with him tonight. Lucas takes his car and Diana waits in front of the office. I feel I can't refuse him anymore. That's fine, we're a friend from the beginning, so I think it'll be all right. Maybe. Diana keeps think about it while waiting for him. They didn't talk at first. That's a quiet journey. Diana doesn't want to start the conversation, but it'll feel so awkward. So how the interview'd go, Lucas started the conversation. It was fun, just like another interviewed. Who were you interviewing, politician again? No, he's a writer. He makes a big movie, if you know, he's still young too. I can't believe he can do such a tremendous job. Lucas glanced at her. You seem to enjoy it, right? We never talked like this since I was promoted. Diana speechless. She doesn't know how to act after hearing that. She holding her phone and looked at the streets. Hope nothing bad will affect her friendship with Lucas. We used to work together and go home like this together. I don't know what's make the distance between us. I keep spend time with your sister too, but I can't reach you recently. What happened? Are you avoiding me? Diana holds his breath for a second. No, I didn't want to avoid you. I think that we should keep our job at first. I know you've worked hard to get to your position right now, and I'll support you as a friend. Is that what you want? Didn't you want something more than a friend? Lucas wondered. I always impressed at you from the beginning. How you express yourself at work makes me happy too. I think this the time for you to stop and enjoy everything, and I'll help you with it. I don't want to see you overwork like this. I don't know about that, Lucas. I didn't sure, she stammered. They don't have any conversation after it. Lucas thinks about how Diana feels right now. He can't make her enjoy her life for a little. Inside his heart, Lucas doesn't want to see Diana like this at her age. Diana knows about his intention. He's not a bad guy, after all. She doesn't know how to explain it to him. She's already enjoyed her life working this hard. Diana feels like there's something unfinished with her career. She loved her condition, and she doesn't want anything to change. Not yet. She keeps looking at the sky with a million stars. The million stars that have their unique, just like people in this world, million people and million thought. She hoped that she knows the answer up there, how she'll deal with the situation without breaking his heart. Thanks for driving me home, Diana thanked and goes inside. Diana, Lucas called her and she turns around just before going to her apartment. I won't give up. I'll keep pursuing you. Lucas looked at her in the driveway back home. Diana stares at the empty side. That's what I'm afraid of. She closes her eyes and thinks, is this just me who thinks like this? Why everyone keep asked me to stop and chill? Between the millions of people, is there anyone who has the same thought as me? Or it just me in one of the millions? Diana stumbled back to bed with such negativity. She continued questioning her motivation for her job. She didn't take a shower and just lay down to rest her body and her mind. Look at the ceiling and hope there's an answer to her question. Diana, trying so hard to close her eyes, but in the end, she cannot get some sleep. After a couple of minutes, she stands and grabs some wine to clean her mind. Open the curtain, and she stares at the half-full moon. Not too bright, but left some beautiful mark on her heart. She sits while drinking a glass of wine while closes her eyes. She wakes up early, just like usual, and washes her body in the shower. But the first time after a while, she didn't sleep well. walking to the bus stop, like usual, and do the routine. Diana's a cheerful person. She always brings joy to the work and makes everyone happy with her. Day after day, she did everything just like usual. Everything is repetitive, nothing new in her life. Work till late at night and doing some interviews day after day. Her smiles faint, her cheerful and impassioned personality slowly goes out, like a fire in the fireplace, but she didn't have enough pile to keep it light. Diana, what happened today? Are you sick? Mia came to her desk. No, I don't. Why? Diana wondered. Nothing, but you little bit quiet lately. Really? I didn't realize that. Mia sigh and grab her shoulders. You always passionate at work, but you didn't laugh or smile lately. Maybe you tired, why didn't have some days off? Diana never takes some days off when she's not sick. It feels strange to her if takes the days off. Day off? Am I looks tired? Am I didn't smile lately? I don't know, Mia. It feels waste if I'm sitting all alone at home. What? Who said you should stay at home and do nothing? You can go to the beach or the mountain with your family, then get back when you feel okay. I want to see your smiles again. Mia pats her shoulder and walks away. Diana stares at her while thinking about what she said. Mia can so care about her if there's something different. Diana backwrites some news. She stares at the screen with a flat expression. Slowly her eyes start closes. For a minute she's sleeping in front of her computer. She gasped after woke from her short nights of sleep. What? Am I sleeping? Why? It must be I'm not sleeping well last night. She didn't finish her job and go to the cafeteria on the rooftop, sit at the counter and order some coffee to make her awake. Diana didn't want to decrease her performance at work. Diana? Wow, this unusual. Are you bored? George, the barista, asked. Bored? No. Why are you asked? Diana asked while put her hands on the desk. Because it's not lunchtime and you usually didn't come here except for lunch. Diana frowned. So why you think that I'm bored? George laughs and smiles. Haha, don't take it seriously. People always want to get away from their routine when they are bored. That's normal. And it happened in every routine. You never bored when you at work. Nope, I think. So why are you here right now? Diana fell silent. She wondered. I didn't have enough sleep last night, so I want to grab some coffee. She answered, but in her heart she knew it isn't the right answer. Now appears one question in her head. Am I started bored with this job? There shows some doubt in her heart. The job that she loved more than anything in her life didn't feel interesting anymore. She didn't know what makes her think this way. George gives the coffee. It's on the house. I think you need time to fresh up your mind. Well, thanks. You're a pretty nice guy. I didn't need your compliment. Don't work too hard or try to find a boyfriend. Diana takes her coffee and sits on the edge of the roof, watching all the people do their work from above, drink her black coffee to make her eyes open all day. Again, everyone tells her to find a boyfriend. Shit. I starting fed up with all of this. I'm 28, so what? She watched the half-crowded streets and their routine. Check her phone if there's anything important. Massage. Nothing interesting, so Diana decided to back to work. Walk out of the cafeteria. Ugh, this coffee doesn't work. I've to wash my face. Diana goes to the restroom near the elevator, calm her thought down in the toilet, sits and meditate for a minute. It's almost lunch, so there's someone who goes to the cafeteria early. She hears someone comes to the restroom. Did you know what happened to Miss Christie lately? Diana heard someone talked about her. She can't see her face because she is stuck in the toilet. I don't know, but she acts weird lately. You noticed that too. It sounded like her subordinate. Thank God I didn't have to deal with her fiery character. She too passionate about her job, and sometimes we should go work overtime with her. Such a pain in the ass. Yeah, you're right, but what makes her calm these past few days? Does she fight with her boyfriend? It can't be she didn't have any boyfriend. I'm afraid she won't get one till she's 30, haha. They left and make fun of her. Diana just sits and heard other people's opinions about her. Is this how people always look at me? Have I pushed my idealism to everyone else? She can't stand up after hearing that. She knows their voice but didn't sure who is it. Diana cleans herself and goes out of the toilet. Wash her face with cold water to get away from unimportant thoughts in her mind. Tied her hair and watch it in the mirror. She knows the difference between her and herself these past few days. The water didn't make this better. It makes her feel tired than before. She inhaled and hold it for a second to make sure everything's fine with her head. She never tired like this before. In the middle of the day, she can hear everyone laughed and walking outside the restroom. Diana stood with her mixed up feelings, didn't sure what she feels right now. Everything like stops in slow motion with many questions pop up in her head. Her phone ringing and wake her up. Open it with her leftover energy. "Huh, James? Why he call me?" Diana picks up James's calls. She can barely understand what he was trying to say. Diana just heard the word interview and come here. She didn't understand at first. Does he want me to interview? She remembered to give him her card. Diana isn't sure about going out to his place. Right now her mind is fucked up. She walks out of the restroom and back to her desk, watching all the people talking with their group, and go to the cafeteria. She doesn't sure who's her true friends. After hearing someone gossip about her, she sits back in her chair, leans back while daydreaming. Her mind blank. She didn't want to think anything. Nobody talks to her, but it feels everything so loud and noisy. It feels like her energy is gone. She just wants to get out of this world. Just for a second. "Diana, let's go to the cafeteria. Are you okay?" Mia comes to approach her. Yeah, I'm okay. I'm already eating, so you guys just go without me." "Really? That's strange. Are you bored or something?" Diana sighed and rested her head on the desk. "Maybe that's what people say. Wow, this special case. I never think you'll get bored in this job." That's exactly what on Diana's mind at first. She's the one who was shocked about this. "I don't know if I'm bored or anything. I've got a lot of problem in my head. You guys can go." Mia nodded and pats her shoulder. Whisper that everything will be fine. Left Diana alone on the empty office. Ugh, this is really hard to take. I don't even know who's my friends right now. After heard gossip about me, I wonder what everyone thinks about me, especially Mia. She always by my side. I want to know what on her mind about me. Diana looked at the phone. It says 13:00 o'clock. The room's quiet. All she can hear is the sound from the streets. People walk over and laughing. The horn from the car and boss yelled at other people. She stood and packed her belongings, reach for her phone and purse, pick up her jacket and walk outside the office. She decided to meet James at his place. I'll prove that they're wrong. I'm not losing my passion in this job. I can do all the work without other people. I'll never force people to overwork again. She takes the bus and heads to James's place. She didn't think straight when she decided to meet James. Her body was hot and she got a little dizzy in her head. Through the middle of the day, she goes almost 30 minutes to his place. She opened James's apartment door after there's no answer at first. Turn out he's drunk and almost passed out on his couch. She drags him to the bathroom and trying to make him wake up. Why am I doing this? I should stay at my office instead of taking care of this drunk's head. She sits down and looks into his laptop. Wow, he worked on the new project. Maybe that's why he called me. But why he's drunk? This is not the right time to get high. Diana gets curious about his project, so she keeps asking the question to him on and on. She didn't look at James's face when she asked those questions. She got excited on her own. I'm still good at this, so I'm not changing at all. They're wrong, right? She is too excited, and James can't hold for his rage anymore. What happened with this guy? He called me to come, but he mad at me. What a freak. Diana can't stand him anymore. She wants to go home. Her hand already at the door, but then James gives her the reason why he called him. That makes Diana can't argue anymore. He has an exact problem with her. The suns get very low after all the arguments. Diana stood between the door and the kitchen. Listened to what he wanted to say. She understands what he feels. She looked into his eyes, the cold, sad eyes that almost dropped the tears because of it. Diana clenched her fist for a moment. In her heart she wanted to said, "That's fine. I feel what you felt right now," but she can't. and she doesn't know why. James looked terrifying. His serious face and his strong-looking eyes made Diana speechless. James just like a sea, and she didn't know when the big waves would come. It felt there's a barrier to make sure she isn't getting carried away with his big waves. The waves can make the other feel curious and terrified at the same time. She wanted to know more about him, but she's afraid, just like her mouth locked up, until he grabs her hands and takes her to dinner. He's a good person. I don't know why, but I want to go with him, because he has the same problem as me. Diana can't resist the offer, despite she embarrassed to wear office suits. She doesn't know how to act when people looked at her. Everyone else wears an expensive and fancy dress, while Diana wears a black jacket with her eyed-in on her neck. "This is embarrassing," Diana said to James when he pours the wine into her glass. Why? Is this because of how the other people looked at you?" Diana silent. She nodded slowly with her head down. James laughed. "Ha ha ha, I think you're mature enough for this. You've listened to what people said about you." Diana thinks about what he just said. She can't take a bit of advice from people who younger than her. Her head can't stop thinking of something that she doesn't understand. Diana takes the first gulp of her wine. It tastes more bitter than sweet. She remembered when the people gossip at her. "Why I care so much with other opinions." "You're right. I don't know why I did this too. I don't want to be seen as a weak woman." Dina keeps staring at the glass half empty. "Diana, I don't know what's the problem that you have. Try to rest at first. That doesn't mean that you were weak or anything. Stop thinking for a second." "Okay," James smirked at her. Today, Diana learned a new thing. She has taken everything for granted. I've to accept that I'm struggling with my job. I've to accept that I don't feel comfortable with the circumstances. I'll try to not hear about everyone's opinion. I want to love myself. After a half bottle they drink. Diana, not good at drinking. She starts blabbering and talking about everything that she had in mind. It makes her spill out her restlessness. James listened to what she wanted to say about her problem and her condition. Alcohol makes them share their burden without a doubt, lift her pain even if just a little. They talked about Diana's problem at the end of dinner. They share their problem after it. It makes them forget their pain for a little. Stories can relieve pain, just like drugs. When two people talk one to each other, it makes them feel special on the inside. "So you feel bored when you're at work?" James said with a cigarette in his hand. "Something like that, maybe," Diana answered with her red face nearly drunk. "Why? The last time I met you, you said your job has something special. What about that?" "I can't believe you still remember what I said." Diana trying to reminiscing what she loved about her job. She knows she loves it, but she can't tell what it is. James looked at her confused face. He feels like Diana has the same problem as he had. She's not different from me. She doesn't feel comfortable with her job, so do I. The difference is I still love writing, but I can't. Don't push yourself too hard. That's okay if you can't answer it. Diana sighed. Maybe I should go home. Lately I worked overtime and I should rest before midnight. Wow, so you even do overtime work? James impressed with her statement. Stop it. Everybody hates me when I did overtime. They said I interrupt their time. Diana leans back and takes another glass of wine. I don't know anymore. Maybe I was wrong about that. But what's wrong with work hard? James listened to her opinion. His eyes looked right into her face. He trying to figure what kind of people Diana is. It's hard for James to figure it out. Just like figure what color of the universe. The universe change and you can't figure what color the universe is. It depends on what you see on it. Just like people. James always wanted to know people. He loves to see their iridescent sheen. I don't agree with you, James said it quick. What? Why not? Diana shocked. What do you mean? I said something right here? Wait, let me finish it. James tried to calm her down. I don't agree with you, at least not yet, until you can answer my question. Silent, Diana thinks about what he just said. James light up another cigarette, trying to find the right word to explain it. Day's getting darker. Everybody starts leaving the place. Just leave few people. The lamp gets brighter, along with the dark of the night. Think about it for a second. You don't even know why you love your job. So don't make them love what you're doing. Until you can answer my question, I'll give another opinion about it. James smiled, put off his cigar, and stood up. Okay, thank you for today. Come on, I'll drive you home. James took his jacket and go back to his car. It happened so fast, and Diana still stuck at his question. She's always thought out loud and questioned about everything against her. She couldn't see James the same anymore. She has a lot of mixed feelings and opinions about him. Sat on his leather seats, Diana can barely speak on the way back home. His statement makes her can't think of anything else. James sensed something wrong. The ambiences feel so awkward. Have I said something wrong? Diana, are you all right? James tried to make sure everything's okay. Am I hurt your feelings? Diana shook her head. I don't know what to say when you lecture me like that. I'm sorry if I hurt your feelings. I didn't mean to. Diana smiled faintly. That's okay. I'm fine. I just can't believe when you told me some great thinking. You're 5 years behind me, just like my sister. And that surprised me. Ha ha ha. I'm not easily offended. It's almost midnight, but Diana keeps checking her phone in case if there's any job she hasn't done yet. She left the office in the middle of the day, is her first time skipped the job for personal business. A lot of messages from Mia and other co-workers, but she didn't have any serious trouble. James glanced at her. He can see her doing her work. It makes him wondered. She's still doing her job at this time. I don't know what happened with her head. Before he turns back, he realizes that she doesn't enjoy it. Even when she texted back her mum and friends, she looks tired. It figured in her firm face. Who you texted to? James asked curiously. My sister, why? Diana frowned. Nothing, you seem annoyed with it. Diana sighed and closes her eyes. She wondered why I'm not home yet, and she thinks that I have a date. Just her nonsense. Forget it. Ah, so you're really annoyed with this boyfriend thing. That's right, I'm tired of this society demands. Why women should have married when they're 25 or older. James thinks about it for a second. I don't know, maybe because most of them have met their soulmate at that age. Diana, do you know what loves is? I mean, have you ever loved someone with all of your heart? Diana, speechless. Maybe. She didn't have felt how it feels to love someone. And James knows it from her answer. She never thought about it before. So she has never done it. That's why she's sensitive with this thing. So you never feel it. Diana can't argue with him. You'll know when you found it, he continued. They arrived at her place almost midnight, and her sister already waited for her in front of the apartment door. James smiled at her and helped her pack her things. Thanks for taking me to dinner, Diana smiled. Never mind, it's me who should say that. James shook her hands. Diana, I think you should have some days off. She walks out and talks through the window. Why? Nothing in particular. I just want you to feel happy. James waves his hand and leaves. He left some abstract hint for her. James didn't want to make her feel what he felt. Empty inside, and almost forget how it feels to be loved by somebody. James knew that he should have said it for himself, like what people say, it's easy to told someone what to do than said it to yourself. He drive home with mixed feelings now his car feels so empty and quiet. He forgot how to love himself and deal with loneliness. Diana walked inside with the same feelings as him. What's that mean? Am I not happy? They have the same problem with different situations. Who's that? Diana's sister asked with her shining eyes, wanted to know what just happened to her. Just my friend, Diana answered shortly. It must be a date, right? This is the first time I wanted to know who he is. Diana, annoyed with her act, shut up. I wanted to sleep, mind your own business. Leave her alone in the door. Diana has more questions she had to answer. Should I take a day off? What's the meaning of loved by somebody? He wants me to be happy. She never felt so confused, but happy at the same time. She doesn't know why, and she wanted to know the reason beneath it. She digs into her bottom of her heart for an actual reason. Back home with his car on the empty road, struggle with his anxiety and emptiness. After spending the day with a person that makes his day a little bit brighter, He realizes that he should back to his routine and pursue the deadline from his job. It's almost a week since he writes a new story, and right now he hasn't developed a new idea. It's just one word that he has written on his laptop. Hollow. It represents his mind and his heart. James sits on the lonely seats, looked on the edge of the streets. He hasn't checked the email, but he has a feeling that Edin looking for him. He doesn't have enough money to fulfill his needs in the next month. The deadline is 1 week from now, and he doesn't have a new idea yet. He arrived at his apartment after some lonely drive. It just takes 30 minutes from Diana's place, but James feels it a long drive. He grabbed a can of beer and opens his laptop. And there it is. Ed sent him a lot of emails. Ed wants to check his condition and make sure James has progressed. James took a deep breath and tries to think about how to maintain his job. James, what's up? I texted you, but there's no reply, so I decided to send you an email. James read the email with his fucked up head. Listen, you should bring your job next week. I don't mean to push you. It's been difficult for you, but if you want to survive, you must be done it. Bring me a story and it'll be fine. He stood and walked toward the window, opened the curtain and looked at the city. He watched all over the place. What story should I write? Nothing's interesting in this city. Should I write about my condition? James hesitated to write the story that he has never done it before. He isn't comfortable writing about his condition, and he thought that his problem is not a big deal. Pick his laptop, then walk to the balcony, light up the cigar, and start writing again. He watched action videos and trying to make something out of them. It's been 3 hours since he wrote, but it doesn't make anything. James leaned back his shoulder and hit another can of beer. I can't write anymore. What's this? Is this the end? There must be something that I could do. I know there's some detail that I can develop. He closes his eyes, tried to feel the imagination, and hope an idea pop up in his head. But all he can feel's just the coldness of the wind and the sound of the lonely road in front of his apartment. It's cold and he feels it froze his brain. He can't work it out. James closes his eyes and fell asleep on the outside. Maybe it cold, but it suits him. It froze just like his brains. He can't feel an idea anymore. Wake up around 7 a.m. He can feel the sunshine through his skin, some warm and new feelings that he's not known before. After several hours slept outside, he knows that warmness doesn't suit him. It's been a while since James feels the warm and soft feel. All he felt recently is nothing but hollow and empty life. Stretched his arm and checked his phone. James doesn't feel good about today. He doesn't know what should he do. He doesn't have any purpose. He starts to wonder what should he do. Stood and changed his outfit into casual shirts and bring his bag. Tried to walk through the city. He wants to find a new atmosphere. All he can see is people laugh and enjoy their job or routine. He starts to wonder what's the purpose of life. People look so happy they put a smile every day. So why am I here? Why I can't put on a smile like anyone else? Why am I living? What should I do in this life? He walked till long enough and end up in the coffee shop. It's far away from his apartment. It's near the college and it's very crowded. James never went to college, so this is strange for him. It's been a while since he caught in the middle of the crowded. He sat on the counter and ordered black coffee. Some of the people staring at him, he knew it. He doesn't want to get more attention and he just keeps his head down. Ah, fuck, what am I doing here? This place didn't suit me. Mind your own business, college people. James wants to go outside before everything gets worse, but right before he wants to step outside, some people go surround him. They too many people and he doesn't know how to react to this situation. Are you new here? I've never seen a guy like you before, a blonde guy asked. Yeah, actually I'm not a student, James said it, nervous. Huh? What do you mean you're not from here? You bring a bag and you look like our age, the other guy yelled at him. Yeah, I worked around here, and this bag is for my job. James is confused. He doesn't understand why they're surrounding him. Oh, is that so? Let me check your bag. They tried to steal his bag. He knew that they wanted to bully him. Right before they wanted to steal his bag, James heard some women scream at those guys. Stop, you asshole. Leave him alone. Why you guys always get into trouble for fuck's sake? This girl just slapped one of the blonde guys. When you'll grow up, you stopped, or I'll never invite you to the party anymore. They argued for a second, but the guys were just nodding along and they apologized to her. James can't control himself when a lot of people staring at them. It differs from his routine. It's very different from his world. James can be cool when he's getting high, but confront in the middle of college people is strange to him. It's a very different situation when he helped Daniela. He never knows how hard life's in the college world. Are you okay? This woman smiled at him. I'm fine, James, still confused. Thank you, by the way. That's fine. I'll send them to college. Come on, follow me. We can't talk here. Too many people staring at you right now. He looks around and there are a lot of eyes glued at him. He feels like in the middle of the show, he feels like he's in the middle of the unknown world. Everyone wondered how loser he is, and this is something new for him. He steps into the jungle, into the wild society. This woman dragged James out from the coffee shop. She brought him to her college. She thought that James studied there. It takes minutes till they got there. James had no idea why she brought him here. They sat on the side of the main street. On the bench they watched the people who passed by. It's a new thing for James. He doesn't have enough memories of when he was in school. Listen to people laughing and talking, just simply a moment. James is truly amazed by that view. He never thought that college life looks this exciting. Maybe that's the reason why he's okay when she dragged him around here. So, how do you feel? She opened the conversation. What do you mean? I'm good. He nodded and was still amazed by the circumstances. She laughed. Nah, I'm just thought that you're a nerd and feels shocked about what happened in the coffee shop. What? Of course not. I just didn't know how to react to that situation. James sighed and looked at the sky. So, what's your name? Alice, nice to meet you, she smiled and shook his hand. And you are? James. Nice to meet you too. So you have a class today? Alice asked it straight away while she tied her hair. James confused at the moment. What does she mean by attending a class? Does she think I study here? He looked at her. She looks like an innocent girl. James was stunned at her because her look reminds him of someone. Her black beautiful hair and her strong personality make her gorgeous. It's felt like some feelings he always known for a while, beautiful just like the color of the night. What do you mean by a class? James asked. Alice, confused by that question. You know, a class. It's hard to explain it. Wait, before you get it wrong, I'm not a student here. She's shocked. You're not? Oh, I'm sorry for dragged you here. You look like our age. Why you not told me before? James smiled and stretched his arm and back, took a deep breath and think how to explain it. He doesn't have a plan at first. He just walks to clear his mind and ends up in the middle of the college people. I'm just passed and ended up here. I don't know why too. I don't blame you if you thought that I'm one of you. I'm 23 maybe. We're at the same age here. Alice can't believe what she just heard. Damn, I feel shame at myself. So why are you still here? Are you at work or something? You don't look like an office man for me though. James looked at his outfit. He knows he looked like a college boy than a writer. Yeah, I'm not an office person. I'm a writer. At least that's what I'm doing recently.
What? You're a writer?
How many books that you've written? James wrote few books and it went booming this last couple of years. I think she doesn't know my book. Should I tell her that I write a bestseller? He looks at her again. She looked like wanted to know more about him. Alice looked at him with glassed eyes. She has a lot of curiosity. Her eyes showed that she's hungry for information and she would explore the world and people that she doesn't know. Right now, James is brand new information that she hasn't known yet. Do you read a lot of books? James wanted to make sure his guess. Nope, she answered shortly. Just like what I thought. She doesn't know me at all. And she doesn't have to know me, right? I don't want to give people hope that I'll make a new and wonderful story again. James smirked and breathed relief. Ha ha! I don't write a lot of books. I tried to write a couple of books, but it failed. I want to write more, and the reason why I ended up here because I want to sense a new experience and ambience to enhance my story. Alice listened into it. Wow, you put a lot of work into it. What's your genre? Actions and some sci-fi. So you don't have an idea for your next book? James hesitated. Something like that. I don't have images anymore. Alice's frown, her head. Maybe you don't have some trouble or inspiration to make it. What do you mean by that? Alice stood and explained. What I've wanted to say is, you don't have to write something by a genre. I haven't read a lot of books, but I think it easy to write something that comes from your heart. You know, maybe if you wanted to express your problem through the story, it makes it easy. It's just my opinion, but some art and work it became fun when you do it with a smile on your face. She smiled. Again, James feels like has seen that smile before. She gave a stunning opinion. James never thought it before. She just like Ed, they said something similar. Maybe they're right. I have a class right now, can I have your number? We can talk again later. James doesn't like to share his number with someone new. He doesn't want to expose his life and knows some unnecessary people. She pushed him to the edge. She kept asked with noise, even yelled at him. James gives up. He can't deal with hyperactive people. She walked away, left James sitting all alone. Enjoy his loneliness once again, but right now he's in the middle of college society. He wanted to know more about this world. He stood and stepped inside. James observed everything inside. Some guys sitting at the corner, people kissing at the bathroom, cafeteria filled with some youth joy around. It's something that James doesn't have. He wants to be there, laugh, and feels that kind of joy. It's been a while since he laughed hard and truly from his heart. That's what he genuinely wants. It's different from what I've imaged when I was in high school. It looks fun, looks the adrenaline and joy around. I wanted it. I want to laugh like people around here. I don't want to cry again. I wanted to be loved. I wanted to be happy. I wanted to fill this hole in my heart.